Hey everyone, welcome back to Streetball AllStars. Today is the day that we talk about one of the most busted bigs in the entire game, the most flexible big in the entire game. Of course, we're talking about Robbie. Let's get into it. So, firstly, let's talk about what Robbie does in the first place. Well, to put it simply, Robbie is a rebounder slash defender for dunks and for shooting, depending on his mode, and he's also a great supporter because he has the biggest hitbox in the entire game when it comes to actually screening. So yeah, he's basically a jack of all trades, but instead of being mediocre at everything, he's very good at everything. And yeah, that's Robbie. That's Robbie. So let's go ahead and take a look into his abilities. So right here we can see 33-point shot. That's not even really that low for a center, but yeah, that's still a low 3-point shot. That's not his job anyway. 50 mid-range, again, pretty decent in all honesty for a center. Still though, that's not his job. 60 close shot, that's actually pretty big as well for a center. And 65 dunk, pretty good at both of those. 20 steal, 25 dribble, 35 pass, not really that good. 35 speed, not that bad for a big as well. That means he is still pretty good at defense against shooters as well. And 35 speed helps him out a lot as well. 24 jump, that means he can't actually dunk from too far away. And that's very much true. Robbie does not actually dunk that far away. Or can't dunk, I should say. He really can't dunk from that far away. 68 rebound, not really that high in the look of things, but trust me, this is a lie. Robbie has such a great rebound height and rebound reach as well. One of the highest in the entire game. So this is a lie right here. This should honestly be higher. 70 block, that's not a lie. He definitely has one of the longest reach in the entire game as well, especially when he's on speed mode. 70 block, that's really good for a center, and that's very true as well. He also has 74 power, one of the highest in the entire game. I think it's the highest, tied with Daisuke, with Big Mike having 75. So yeah, he's also very powerful, which means, that's right, he's a great dunk blocker. And with just his skills, we'll talk about it later, but this does come in handy with his skills as well. Anyways, with all that being said, what do I want you to give Robbie? Well, you actually have two options. Number one, your first option is to just give power, pure power to Robbie. Or number two, just give pure speed to Robbie. Both of these options work really well. Power for blocking dunks, and speed for being a speed demon. So, giving Robbie pure power will make him a great dunk blocker, and if you activate, speed mode, you will get very good speed as well. So that's very, very good, and it'll make you more flexible if you need to actually, get on speed mode or just keep on blocking dunks. You're gonna be more effective. If you do pure speed though, you'd still be a good enough dunk defender, but not nearly as good as if you are pure power. But pure speed would make you a speed demon, and it's going to be hard to actually escape Robbie, whoever you are using, if you are a shooter. So, you can go either pure power or pure speed, but for me, personally, I'm gonna go pure power. I will give Robbie pure power. And with the stuff that's left, I'd probably give him just a little bit of speed. And if a little bit more is left, I'd also give him just a little bit more rebound to make him actually more effective in grabbing those bad bounces. But yeah, with those being said, let's go ahead and take a look into his skills. Alright, so here we can see Robbie's skills. Let's go ahead and talk about each one of them. Firstly, we have follow-up shot. A staple to all bigs, not really mandatory to have, but really useful to have, especially if you are going up against characters and you end up in a tie or in overtime. This comes in very useful. It's to break those ties or to go up by one and win the game. Not mandatory, but useful to have. Next up, we have box out, pretty much mandatory for all bigs, even if you're scoring or defending or rebounding. Make sure to get this as soon as possible and make sure to max it out. It's really important. Next up, we have flick. Again, just like box out, mandatory for all bigs, even if you're scoring, defending, or just rebounding. Max it out as soon as you can. Make sure to get this skill. Now, let's take a look into his exclusives. So firstly, we have here his first level 4 enhanced rebound. Pretty much just makes it so that you're rebounding better. Max this out. You need to get this. It's one of the most important skills in the entire game. You have to max out enhanced rebound. Next up, we have switch mode. Again, you need to max this out and you need to actually use this skill. You need to get this skill. It's very important. It's what makes Robbie so versatile, because he can go from power mode to speed mode to power mode or speed mode. It's very, very important that you get this. Make sure to max this out and get this skill. Now, we have block catch SP. Basically, if you're in normal mode, it gives you dunk grabbing chance, and if you're in speed mode, it gives you a shot grabbing block chance. That's it. It means that if you're in speed mode, you can grab the ball if you block a shot, but if you're in normal mode, you can block a dunk and actually have a chance of grabbing the ball. So make sure to get this. Very important as well. Make sure to max this out. Finally, we have one of the most busted skills in the entire game, which is resist recovery SP. You know what this does? This means that screens are useless to Robbie if he's in normal mode. This basically counters toss dunk really hard. Makes it so that it's almost impossible to actually, not be able to block toss dunk, and for that matter, the stop dunk as well from Reno. This counters toss dunk and Reno very hard. It makes you a monster at blocking dunks. In fact, it actually also counters Zach's screen strategy. So yeah, make sure to max this out. I have seen a lot of Robbies not actually having this skill, and I ask myself why. Why do you not have this? You need to get this. This is one of the most busted skills in the entire game. Make sure that you have resist recovery SP, because it's very, very important to have this. So, as you can see, Robbie's got some very, very powerful skills, which is why he's such a powerful big. But with those being said, let's go ahead and get into a match where I use some of these skills, and let's talk about Robbie some more. Alright, so firstly, let's talk about the teammates that you're gonna want to get if you actually use Robbie. Who are the teammates that you're gonna want to play with? Because of Robbie's versatility, you pretty much can play with whoever you want as long as you can score properly with them. That's it. You can play with whoever you want as long as you can score properly with them. This means that you can play with dunkers, shooters, or maybe even a mix. You can pretty much play with whoever. Let's say you play with Silver Wolf, you actually take out Robbie, one of his many counters right now. You will be very good at actually screening the point guard for Silver Wolf, or screening Silver Wolf himself for the hook. You're going to be great at rebounding if he does miss those fadeaway 3-pointers. Let's say you play with Marcus. Well, you're a great rebounder, so you can actually rebound really well as well. And Marcus isn't a dunk blocker, but you're Robbie, so you are a dunk blocker. So you'll be able to play with Marcus very effectively as well. Let's say you want to play with Zachary. Well, Zachary's pretty much overpowered if you screen him with Robbie, just because of how big Robbie's hitbox is and how broken dunk spam is in the first place. So yes, you can play Zachary with Robbie, and you'd be really effective with them. You can play with Robbie with whoever you actually want. And with point guards, it's pretty much the same as well with how versatile Robbie is. You can use whoever point guard you want just to support the scorer. Let's say you're playing with a Camille, well, you can use White, or you can use Albert. Or let's say you're playing with a Marcus, well, you can use Neko. Let's say you're playing with a Butterball, well, you can use Nana or Lily. It all doesn't matter. Robbie is very, very versatile, and you can play with basically whoever you want as long as you can score properly with them. Secondly, what are the matchups that you're gonna want to actually get or avoid when you're using Robbie? And the answer here is it's also none of them. You're not gonna want to actually avoid anything or get anything. It's going to be a mixed bag. You know who actually will matter? What will matter, I should say. You know what actually will matter if you're trying to avoid or actually get a matchup? It's with whatever scorer you're actually playing with. Let's say you're playing with a Zachary. Well, then you're gonna actually want to get other dunking or offensive power forwards while not wanting to actually get defensive power forwards. Let's say you're playing with a Marcus that's actually very skilled. Well, then that means you're gonna want to get a scoring dunker that's not that good at defending, and you're still gonna do very great. Where it's gonna depend on what you're gonna want to actually get as a matchup is not Robbie. It's going to be with whoever you're playing is. That's because Robbie, as I've said before, is very versatile and can actually match up against any matchups and be very effective if you know how to use him properly. So, that being said, you want to make sure that you use Robbie specifically to help out your teammates, and in turn your teammates will be the ones that will decide whether, you'd be effective against a matchup or not. It's gonna be with how your teammates play and how good they play, not with Robbie. With Robbie, you pretty much will be effective with however, or with whoever you are actually going to face. And lastly, when it comes to meta, it is meta. Robbie is 100% meta. He is one of the most used bigs in the entire game for a reason, and that's because he is just such a great big. Robbie is overpowered. His speed mode, very good, right? Very fast as well. But not only that, his blocking range, very far. They nerfed it. They actually did nerf it. I did actually see that, and I did actually feel it. It was actually nerfed, but is it enough of a nerf? I don't think so. So Robbie has a great blocking range and great speed. That means he's great at actually defending perimeter. Well, how about dunking? Well, he has one of the most busted skills in the entire game that ignores screen, and he has one of the highest power in the entire game, so he can block pretty well, which he also has dunk grabbing and actually shot grabbing blocks in just one skill combined. Yeah, Robbie is very broken. Robbie is very broken. Not to mention, again, his screen, with dunk spam, it's pretty much almost unstoppable. But yeah, Robbie's 100% meta. If you get him, you're an a-hole, or you're lucky, but most likely you're an a-hole. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it's been helpful. I hope that you found it actually entertaining somehow. And I'll catch you on the next one.